Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Today the topic of my speech will be, we don't just become what we eat, but we become what we watch. So, basically, today I want to discover a really interesting phenomenon that we all have, but we don't notice it actually. So, which one do you think is healthy? The shawarma, greasy looking, and you don't even know the contents of it and how it's cooked? Or the salad? Well, this is how they look like. Shawarma, right? Okay, I'm just kidding. For sure salad. So now, I got a question for you guys. Why are we that much selective about the food that we get? However, we don't have the same attitude toward the information that we get on a daily basis. Yeah, this is the question that I stumbled upon one day, and still that doesn't let me sleep. So this is why now I overthink everything, and let it be a secret, think that my neighbor is a serial killer. Well, let's move on. Yeah, guys, let's make a confession. These are us pretending to be doing our home assignment in our rooms. Telling to our parents, hey, don't distract me. Like, I'm reading a book, I'm doing my math class, what do you want? But this is actually what we are doing. Just, sitting in front of the phone. Books are on both sides of us, but we're just, doom scrolling, watching Instagram, YouTube, and other social media websites, or even playing games. So, let's go next. Well, you see these three guys? They look quite innocent, don't they? Just small kids. What do you think does unite them? Their nationality, talk, their gender? I'm not sure. Well, they're all guys. I'm not sure about their nationality. But the thing is, they're all connected, that they all played games, special games. I mean, ordinary games that we all guys play, and I know it. Well, that's what actually does unite them. They all became prisoners. They are all incarcerated. Well, now you guys might be wondering, what happened to them? Well, actually, let me tell you. The first guy, Daniel Patrick. Well, this guy, in the year of 2007, he was just playing his game named Halo 3, and he was deprived of this game by his father. And one day, he came with a rifle into his, parents' room and shot them both. Yeah, I know it seems violent, but this is the bitter truth. He killed his mother, but fortunately, his father was, critically damaged but survived. And yeah, he was the age of 16 like you guys. And now guys, I'm sure you'll say, hey, it's Halo 3, it's violence. Well, you say violence, but I say addiction. Because the survey by the police made sure that he played enormously many hours this game. And this can happen to anyone, I think. Even the game can be, not that much violent. It can be any like Candy Crush Saga or any time killer game. I'm sure that you guys, if you're, deprived of this game, if your parents take your phone, I'm sure you are gonna be, anyhow mentally damaged. Because, even I felt it on myself when I play or when I watch something for a long time. I cannot, anyhow get rid of this thing. Or another guy, James Holmes. Aurora theater shooting, that was a homicide. One day, imagine, you sitting there, imagine someone enters this room, you're watching my presentation with the gun, with the rifle, and start shooting everyone. Guilty, innocent, everybody died. And, well, this was also another horrible case of like when playing a game. That was also because of the game. And again, game doesn't have to be necessarily connected to violence and shooting and killing people. And this was horrible. And the third guy, Nehemiah Griego, Mexico, he was also like the age of 15 or 17, if I'm not mistaken. And what he did is like, one day he came to his house with his gun, shot both of his parents that were sleeping, and he killed them both. Then his little brother came to him weeping, crying, pleading for mercy. But I think that this guy had a bit different plans on him, because his little brother was irritating him. He shot at him. And he also had two little sisters. They were babies. They were sleeping in lullabies, and unfortunately he shot even them. And I think that's the most tragic case ever, because like killing your entire family just because of the game. And police made a survey, and they got to know that he played enormously many hours in Warcraft. And I think some of you guys know Warcraft game. It might be a bit about violence, but still the fact that he played this game for enormously many hours leads us to the conclusion that it's not all about violence, but it's about addiction. And it can be anything, both games or social media, anything you like. Now, let's talk about something interesting. How do YouTube algorithms work? Well, I'm sure you guys were sometimes wondering, how do I watch the game about Ronaldo and the game, or the game of Ronaldo, or the video about any football player, and I get the second, short video, like real TikTok or YouTube short about, this player or about a football? Well, I'm here to answer this question, guys. Well, actually, YouTube algorithms do not give you the videos depending on their popularity. So, for example, if Mr. Beast posts a video that gets millions of likes and trillions of views, you won't get it unless you watch him. So, YouTube algorithm rather gives you videos on your preferred topic. For example, I made sort of research, and imagine this. For example, you are interested in sports and you are interested in animals, and you give the same prompt. You write in YouTube search bet, and if you're interested in sport, the first thing that you'll get is a baseball bat, how to choose one, what brands are available, and so on. However, if you, for example, search a bat, and if you're more into animals, the first video that will pop up will be about crepuscular animal, about a flying bat. I'm sure you know that. So again, this is not, the YouTube algorithms are not about, the views, are not about likes, but they're more about you. And they give the videos that you will watch after one. So it's gonna be like a Groundhog's Day, a chain, infinite chain. Well, now let's proceed. Let's talk a bit about me. How was I affected by social media and a bit of survey? Well, I need to make a confession, guys. I wasn't an ideal child, really. I was spending barely 10 hours, using my phone, and 7 hours of that time were social media websites like YouTube mostly and Telegram. I watch YouTube, and you for sure can understand that I wasn't watching like long videos. However, I was watching short videos, and I use Telegram just for chatting, chat with my friends or with some other people. Unfortunately, or no, actually fortunately, one day I noticed one change. I started losing my eyesight, and I didn't want to become the person who wears glasses, and I didn't want to become blind. So what I did, I decided to refrain from my phone first. My mother tried to put a parental control on me, but as I'm a technophile, I'm tricky enough. So what I did is I just accessed her phone, changed some settings, and voila, I have full access to my phone, so it didn't help me. Well, I tried many things, but the thing that really much helped me was, watching interesting videos that I'm interested in. So we're gonna talk about it a bit later. These are the statistics of how my friends use their phones, like how much time they spend, like on what things they spend their time. As you can see, Instagram and TikTok in the first place. 80% of the time they spent on social media websites. The rest was on games and miscellaneous, like 17% of games, and only 3% on miscellaneous. By saying miscellaneous, I don't mean just other applications, but I mean studies too. So, as you can see, that's horrible. This is my case. I used to spend 90% of my screen time using, YouTube and Telegram. A bit on games, yes. I mean, I need to confess, I also played games. Who doesn't love them? And a really small proportion on education and other stuff. As you can see, I'm not smart enough, I'm dumb. Well, now, the question that you all got now, how to minimize the exposure to a futile content? Well, the first is use applications that block the access to your phone. I mean, this option is really good for those who have the self-discipline and who know that they won't violate the rules that they made for themselves. So, for example, you can install an application like Forest or Focus, as they call it. Block some applications that you use really much and that are really much addictive, and try to discipline yourself. Or the last option will be to buy a phone case from AliExpress that blocks the entire access to your phone. The only thing you can do is just answering the phone calls. But I don't think this is the last measure. My second advice is start watching short videos. Now I know, guys, it's gonna sound like a nonsense because the entire presentation of mine was against short videos, against futile content. But hear me out. I'm not just telling you just to doom scroll short videos, getting to know about someone's breakfast or how vampires live. No, start watching short videos that cover the topics that you like. It can be anything, IT, programming, cookery, how to plot of the story, the story of any movie. Anything you want and anything you like. And I'm sure that YouTube will help you doing this, because more you watch such videos, more feed of such videos you'll get. And my third advice will be watch longer videos. Well, let me now make the analogy with food, because my topic is a bit about food. Well, now, you're doom scrolling, I can compare it to, eating junk food like these noodles or this shawarma, for example. But if you start watching more content that they're really interested in, that, can help you in the future, or, that you just like really much, well, I think you'll turn more to salad side than to junk food side. Well, I think some of you guys might have seen videos where vegetarians, take the meat and take the salad. They smell the meat, but they eat the salad at the same time. So they're deceiving their brain. And I can compare the same thing to my technique, because you're still deceiving your brain still thinks, I'm not wasting my time, I'm watching short videos. However, you are watching something useful instead of just watching a futile, useless content that you don't like someone dancing, someone, making some postures. I don't think that you need it really much. And, as you start watching longer videos, I recommend you watching more longer videos, to get, again, to more healthy side. Because I don't recommend you being stuck on short videos, because you can again return to doom scrolling, and this is horrible. Then it means it won't help. So from short videos, try to switch to a bit longer videos to get more insights into the subject that you like, or to make something even more impressive than you can do now with short videos. So this is what I wanted to say. And guys, I don't want to boast, show off or something, but These are some of my achievements that I had when I decided to barely totally refrain from social media and some other distractors, really. For example, my IELTS score, I registered a month before my examination, and that was like, I was thinking that my examination will become a doomsday, really. I was really much worried about the result that I get, because I knew that if I screw it, there won't be any other chance for me. Because, that was the time when I had to prove everything to, my classmates, to some other people. And, when I needed to act. And yeah, the certificate for million Zooms. As I was studying programming, there was, a portfolio week. For a week, I needed to make a portfolio, a good portfolio. But guess how much time I spent on my portfolio website? 2 days. Well, and actually these weren't, entire 2 days, because I started from, Saturday evening, and I had a, sleepless night, and it wasn't insomnia, it was just because I was working. And, but after that, when I came to, workplace, I immediately took out my laptop and started, developing my website till the end, because I knew that I, won't make it if I, start, watching some YouTube, if I, get stuck on my phone. I knew that I won't make it, but I wanted to get a prize. Maybe I'm greedy. Well, yeah, these are just some of the examples of how I, decided to refrain from some futile content and devoted myself to something really much needed. And now, guys, I want to show you something really interesting. Can you please turn on your calculators? Okay, good. Now, guess a 3-digit number. 3-digit. Random. And write it down. Good. If you wrote it down, it's good. Now, write it again. So, for example, if you guessed 103, it has to look like 103,103. So, like, you write it 2 times. Done? Good. Now, try to divide it by 11. Okay, if it's a whole number, it's good. Now, try to divide it by 13. Good. And now divide by the 3-digit number that you guessed in the start. 3-digit, not 6-digit, please. Good. And multiply by 2. Well, congratulations, you got my age, if it's 14. This is just the small thing that I learned from, short video. You can impress people by, watching some longer videos, and I'm sure that they'll get really much surprised into how you made it. But overall, what I can say is, the last thing that I want to tell you is, guys, now you know that we are what we watch. So choose your screen time like you choose your dreams. Thank you.